What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to Vietnam. It's been a little while since I did any videos on the Vietnam Dong. The economy was doing really booming at the time, but they're having a rough year this year, unlike 2020, when they didn't really get affected by the coronavirus. But this year, they seem to be getting affected just a little bit. We're going to get into how much here in just a second. You guys know, if you're buying gold and silver, make sure you go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right there. And you guys know I have the alternative website. I encourage you guys all to go over and join it. It's got some great news regarding the coronavirus. So what's going on? Let's take a quick peek here real quick. Okay, foreign investors affirm confidence in Vietnam's economic recovery in post-RONA. That's post. So last year in 2020, the one thing about it, I think they had like the second best economy. That's because RONA didn't affect them very much. As a matter of fact, the only thing that probably kept them from really booming was the fact that other countries were closed down, but Vietnam was not affected hardly at all. But you can see here it says the fourth outbreak of the RONA pandemic starting from late April has had more negative impact on daily life as well as social economic development than the previous waves in the country. However, Vietnam attracts $14 billion, that's US dollars, in foreign direct investments in the first 8 months of this year, only 2% lower than the same period last year, showing foreign investors confident in the country's economic scenario in the middle and long term, so I should say. Okay, so again, 2021 has not been a good year so far for Vietnam. You gotta like this, though. I can't pronounce it. I believe it's called the Duc Ging Chemical steps into the $1 billion club after rising over 200%. Nice. So there's a little bit of a silver lining in this bad economy right now, or I said silver lining in the RONA economy. After trading around, let's say 20,000 Vietnam dollars per share, the chemical company shares started to rally trend from April 2020 despite the impact of the RONA. On August 10th, the company marketed price officially registered in the three-digit club, and the closing price was $101,700 per share. The uptrend has continued until now. Data compiled on the last 5 sessions from September 10th through September 17th shows that the DGC shares combined for 6 consecutive sessions and even hit the biggest daily gain of 7% on September 13th and on September 17th. And on Friday's session, which was September the 17th, the company marketed price closed at 141, so 141,900 shares, or 141,900 Vietnam dongs per share. That's a pretty big jump if you think about it. So it went from, look at this, 20,000 per share on up to 141,900 shares. Wow. 219% just over the year. For those of you looking, DGC, that's the company. At that price and more than 171 million shares outstanding, that's pretty good. DGC's market capitalization reached nearly 24.3 trillion or 1.05 billion, meaning it's the newest member to the $1 billion club. Very nice. So congratulations to the company. They are now the $1 billion club after, wow, over 200% increase since last year. Don't you wish you're on that bad boy? Foreign investment into Vietnam startups expected to rise despite the RONA. Foreign investment into Vietnam startups is predicted to increase, although the RONA pandemic has left negative impacts on the economy, according to the experts. Again, 2020 was a good year for Vietnam, but it appears that 2021, again, took us kicked. The HSBC Bank Vietnam announced that it has supported General Atlantic's and Dragoner's investment group in co-lending a $250 million in Series B funding round in VN Life Corporation joint stock companies, a leading technology company pioneer the development of Vietnam's digital economy. Okay, so foreign investors are still pumping into Vietnam. They're just waiting for them to get out of the RONA situation. They've been on lockdown, to be quite honest with you. So again, 2020, good year. They were able to really kick butt despite the Rona. This year, the Rona's getting even. Talk about the revenge of the Rona. But you like to see positive news. Vietnam's coffee exports to South Korea forecast to increase. Nice. The more they export, the better the economy. Vietnam's coffee exports to South Korea are expected to increase as the northern Asian market is forecasted to have higher demands on imported coffees. Somebody's drinking a lot of coffee. So this is good for Vietnam. South Korea is buying more of their coffee. Again, good for Vietnam. But this is what you don't want to see. In Vietnam, more than 85,000 businesses leave the market. Wow. 85,500 businesses across the country, to be exact, have suspended operations in the first 8 months of the year. A year-on-year increase of 24.2%, according to the General Statistics Office. Wow, man, that's huge. A 24.2% increase in closed businesses. 85,500. The major Rona outbreak and social distancing severely affected business activities, especially in the South. Of the numbers, half have temporarily suspended operations, while the rest are quitting for good and are completing and having completed dissolution procedures. Wow. So they're dissolving their assets. They're out of business. That's really sad. The GSO also said that 81,600 enterprises have registered to do business in the period, down 8%. So what did they lose here? So they have lost 85,500 businesses, but 81,600 enterprises have registered to do business in the same period. So what is the net here? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I mean, you don't want to see businesses close, man. That's really sad. Another 32,400 resumed businesses. So yeah, the Rona is getting even with Vietnam this year. That's a pretty big hit for them. Last year they kicked butt. This year, not so much. So what does that mean? Vietnam dong seen weakening next year on deficit. FDI and HSBC Vietnam. So they think that the Vietnam dong next year is going to lose some of its value. Wow, how much? Vietnam dong's currency is expected to weaken to 23,000 per $1 from 22,750 currently due to widening trade deficit and a slowdown of foreign investment inflows, which is weird because this is a contrary to what we just read in other articles, that foreign investors are still pumping money in there, but they're saying it has slowed down a little bit. The country likely recorded a current account deficit in the second quarter after its surplus nearly of about 0.04 billion in the first quarter, and compared to an average of 3 billion in the previous quarters, HSBC Vietnam said in a note. It said that Vietnam has been registering trade deficits over the past months, while foreign direct investment inflows have slowed due to the Rona outbreak. The country recorded a trade deficit of 2.63 billion in the first 8 months of this year, according to the data. Not looking good for Vietnam. They're slowing down just a little bit. Now, I haven't done a video on this in a while, and so this is the first one. And I know when we left off, they were doing really good. They were really rocking and rolling, but they just had gotten hit by the coronavirus, and it looks like the corona is doing the damage that it was doing to the rest of the countries. So thoughts and prayers out to Vietnam. Hopefully they recover a little bit better than they have been from the coronavirus. But that's it. That's the latest. That's the greatest. Some areas looking good. Congratulations to the DCC company. 200% increase in business. 219 to be precise since last year. They're now part of the $1 billion club. So congrats there. Congrats to the coffee people. South Korea increasing the importing of Vietnam's coffee. So those parts look good at least. But the overall, not very good. A loss of 85,500 jobs or companies is closing altogether. Not good. So that's the latest and the greatest with Vietnam. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.